Hello and welcome to Hansraj e-Samvaad. This is the ongoing lecture series on the generic elective titled Life and Literature. In the previous lectures, I have discussed the introduction to Sudha Murty's essays, the introduction to Sudha Murty as a writer, the introduction to the paper GE Life and Literature, as well as the particular topic that we will be discussing, and that is Sudha Murty's Wise and Otherwise. In the previous lectures, I have taken up the detailed summary of chapter number 1 till chapter number 10. In this lecture today, I'll be taking up the next 5 lectures. As we all know, as the readers would be knowing by now, we'll be taking up, these lectures in multiples of 5. In each and every lecture, I'll be taking up 5 chapters and I'll be providing summary and critical commentary on all these 5 chapters. So let us now go on to chapter number 11, and I'll be taking up chapter 11 till chapter 15. Now next up we have story number 11, which is titled A Bond Betrayed on Rakhi Day. Now this is a very tragic and a very heart-wrenching story about a girl who has been forced into a prostitution but who is very keen on studying and getting educated. So we see a sex worker, her name is Tara, and Sudha Murty calls her Akka because Akka means elder sister in Kannada. But then she gets very troubled because of hearing this word, and then we get to know that when she was a young girl, her own brother who used to call her Akka, it was he who sold her into prostitution for some money. So Sudha Murty is very upset. She starts crying to know this story, and this is a very tragic story about this woman named Tara. So that is pretty much. So basically, Sudha Murty is just trying to tell us that there are so many bad people, there are so many evil people, in the world, and and then basically the story is to show us the various aspects, the various colors, the various perspectives of life. Sudha Murty also tells us really good perspectives about life, really kind-hearted people who have made a difference. But then there are also, no color is complete without black and white. So if there are, if the whole spectrum of a rainbow has so many different colors, right? So no two fingers are alike. This is the larger idea that we are getting. Next up, we have story number 12, which is A Lesson in Life from a Beggar. So in the story, Sudha tries to say that one can find happiness even in the smallest of things, right? And that human beings should always be content about what she gets. So here she meets her friend Meena, who is earning a good salary, but she's always a negative person. She always has something negative to say. But then later on she meets Meena yet again after a few years, but then Meena has completely changed. Now she is a much more content person, she is a happy person, and she remains content with whatever she gets, right? So Sudha Murty tries to know what is the reason, how has Meena transformed herself so so differently. She was earlier on a very negative person, but now she's a very positive person, isn't it? So she tries to know this, and she gets to know that one day this girl Meena, she saw a beggar and his family who were laughing, they were clapping, they were enjoying while they were living in the street on the roads, and it was raining heavily, and then they were hungry, they were wet, they had no food, they had no place to live, and now they cannot even sleep properly because their their houses are completely washed away due to the rains, but still they are happy, they are enjoying, they are having fun. So this gave Meena a lesson that one can try to find happiness even in the smallest things of life. And then it was this was the turning point in Meena's life. She realizes that she has so much good things, so many good things in life, and that she should be happy and she should be content about what she has got. So this was the turning point, the tipping point in her life. So she learns this lesson from the beggar, right? So therefore the ultimate lesson that we get from this is that one must always think good things, one must always be positive, and there must always be happiness even in small things, right? So another thing that we get to learn is that one should always be grateful for what one has received from the universe, and that is story number 12. Next up we have story number 13, which is titled Forgetting Our Own History. So in this story, Sudha Murty is trying to tell us that new generations are missing out on so many important aspects about their culture, about their society, about their history, and that we as students of literature, we as human beings, or even the general readers, Sudha Murty is trying to tell us that we should always remain in close communion with our culture, right? So that is story number 13, that is Forgetting Our History. So she meets two young children on a flight, and then she asks them that do they know about Rani Lakshmibai, but these two young children, they are simply looking at each other in shock that they do not know who is Rani Lakshmibai, right? And then Sudha Murty tells them about Rani Lakshmibai. So basically, the idea is that one must try to always be connected with their heritage, their culture, their freedom fighter, and we as Indians must acknowledge that the air that we are breathing today, the free air that we are breathing today, is all due to the efforts of the first freedom fighter till the last, till India achieved independence, and therefore we should respect all of that, and we should also try to know more about them. So this is story number 13. Next up, story number 14, which is titled Cause and Cure. So again, this is a very light-hearted story, about a train journey where Sudha Murty boarded a train and she saw a young woman sitting next to her. So this young woman is extremely talkative, and Sudha Murty was feeling a bit unwell, but this young woman was not stopping at all. She just wanted to get into more and more conversations, So Sudha Murty was not interested in talking because she was already having a headache now. And then, but the other woman was completely, she was constantly speaking. And then, finally Sudha Murty said that I am having a headache, so please, just relax a bit, and I need to rest down a bit. And, then this woman offers her a head balm, a pain relieving balm. So she offered her a cure in the form of a balm, for Sudha Murty's forehead. But this is just a light-hearted story about the girl who was herself the cause of Sudha Murty's headache. So therefore the title of the story is Cause Then Cure, right? So it is only this girl that gave her the headache, and now it is the same girl that is giving her a cure for the, for the pain that she has induced, that she has caused for Sudha Murty. So basically it's just a light-hearted story, right? So next up we have story number 15, which is titled Stove Bursts or Dowry Death. So this is again a very serious story about the importance of women getting educated. Nowadays things have definitely changed. Today in 2025, as you watch this lecture, things have changed. But during the 1970s and 80s, even till the early part of the 21st century that we are living in, stove bursts and dowry deaths were very, very common. A lot of families, they used to kill their daughters-in-law by burning, for not getting adequate dowry. This has been the harsh reality of India as a society. But now thankfully, since the last 10, 15, 20 years, nowadays we don't get, because education is also getting, people are also getting educated, the society itself is opening up, new things are coming up, people are getting educated and they are realizing. So basically this story is about the importance of women getting educated, that if women are educated, they can easily find a job and they can leave their exploitative husbands, their exploitative family, right? So if they are economically independent. So there, she meets in the hospital, she meets one such particular woman who has gone through all this. So it's a very tragic story about how dowry deaths were very common back in Sudha Murty's times. Things are however better, but still there are loads of areas where women are facing problems even today and things go unnoticed. So the only solution, as the great Baba Sahib Ambedkar also said, that educate, and organize yourself and agitate and protest against the wrong thing. So education is perhaps one of the key things which can save us from the onslaught of the evil things in life, right? So this woman who is facing the burns, she realizes that if she was educated, and if she was educated enough by her parents, and if she managed to get a job, then she would not have been in such a pathetic situation now that her whole body is burnt, more than 50% of her whole body is burnt, and all this happened because of lack of education. So therefore the moral that the story gives us is that women need to be educated to safeguard their own interests, their own rights and their own happiness, right? So with this I come to the end of chapter number 15. So we have done the first 15 topics, the first 15 anecdotes. In the next lecture, I'll be taking up chapter number 16 till chapter number 20. I hope these lectures are adding some value to your ongoing, analysis. And basically these lectures are meant just to offer you, better analysis. And that is why these are very short lectures and these are short anecdotes. They don't really require a lot of in-depth, analysis. So that is pretty much. I'll see you very soon in the subsequent lectures. I'll be taking up stories number 16 till story number 20, in the next part. So thank you so much. Keep sharing this video. Keep sharing it with everyone and with your fellow friends. and people from other colleges who are studying this particular GE Life and Literature offered by the English department at the University of Delhi, and who are also reading Sudha Murty's Wise and Otherwise. So it was great to see you. I'll see you very soon in the subsequent lectures. Thank you. Goodbye.